written, one day the dead will rise against all living things.
He'll bite your neck, he'll drink your blood. Vampire, vampire. He'll turn to smoke, he'll make you choke. Vampire, vampire. You better wear your cross tonight. Don't ever lose it, hold it tight. Don't look into his glaring eyes. He's sure to have you hypnotized. For he is a vampire, he is undead. For he is a vampire, his eyes are red. He'll bite your neck, he'll drink your blood. Vampire, vampire. He'll turn to smoke, he'll make you choke. Vampire, vampire. Keep your window closed tonight. Don't rest until daylight. There are female vampires too. She'll make love and then she'll bite you. For she is a vampire, she is undead. For she is a vampire, her eyes are red.
They prey on young virgins, put a spell on them. Sometimes they woo them, slowly sucking their life away. Sometimes they kill quickly. One feast, one bite of their fangs.
We'll dig up their graves and stake their evil hearts.
You cannot destroy me.
He'll bite your neck, he'll drink your blood. Vampire, vampire. He'll turn to smoke, he'll make you choke. Vampire, vampire.
Give me a steak. I'll do it.
Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian. Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian. Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian.
Paul was a scholar hid in the crowds, dreamed about rocks growing in the ground. One fateful night with the noise so loud, a shard from the heavens knocked him right down. Lessons tears falling in the night. Paul's got a secret, oh what a fright. Scales and blood in the moon's soft light. A student by day lives a greater on tonight. beast prowls through the doors. Lizard tears falling in the night. Paul's got a secret, oh what a fright. Scales and blood in the moon's soft light. A student by day lives a greater on tonight. Eyes turning green and limbs start to change. Books and pencils now seem so strange. Library whispers replaced by roars. Now a moon beast prowls through the doors. Lizard tears falling in the night. Paul's got a secret, oh what a fright. Scales and blood in the moon's soft light. A student by day lives it later on tonight. Moon beast, whoa, track of the moon beast. Whoa, moon beast, whoa, California lady, here you go.
Watch them,
Eyes turning green and limbs start to change. Books and pencils now seem so strange. Library whispers replaced by roars. Now a moon beast prowls through the doors. Johnny Longo, have you heard the news? Take a break from making all your stew. You set up on a date with Kathy, but at night he's getting real nasty. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Talk of the moon beast goes. Moon beast, whoa, oh, California lady, here you go.
Good evening, fans of fantastic films. On this scary night, Halloween, welcome to the Drive-In Asylum Halloween special. What have we here?
I'm a raptor trainer from Jurassic Park, and as you can tell from my shirt, and I've corralled this young raptor, and he's being very bad. He's been growling at all the other raptors and brontosauruses upstairs, but here he is tonight. He's a kaiju, or is he a kaiju? We can't really tell. He may be ready to stomp Tokyo later.
What did Tokyo ever do to you?
They're jerks. They're jerks.
Raptor.
I'll breathe fire on them and stuff. So that's what I'm doing.
Where's Vivi?
Where's Vivi? Does Vivi have an outfit?
No, she doesn't. I don't know where she is. She doesn't like when I do the show.
Oh man, my hat is double purpose because it's my Steve hat from Friday the 13th. It's a what?
Steve. Oh, Steve.
It's my Christmas. Yeah, you know we had some problems with the water here a couple of years ago.
No, they're all dead. They're all dead.
Must be this place.
He's dead. And oh my God, poor Bill.
I have been thinking about what you said to me last week. I want a movie just about when the water went bad at Crystal Lake.
Seriously, like
what was the story then?
Was Mrs. Voorhees behind that too? Because that happened before the murders.
Yeah,
I mean, it happened after the murders, but before the murders of the film. So, you know, oh, here's Vivi.
Ooh.
Wonder if she'll come over here. Come over here, baby.
If you're new to the show, I see a few new folks. We're going to talk about the movie, introduce it. We'll do some of the ads for it. We'll have a drink that goes with it, and then we have a link for you to watch the movie.
We have no ads for this movie.
Oh, we don't. Oh, yeah, because it only played on TV.
It never played theatrically. It was only released to TV.
What a dream, though, that there is supposedly a gore cut that has longer moments of gore for when it was going to play in theaters, and it got cut for TV. This is footage that I now must find. You know what I mean?
I think, yeah. I think Mike Justice has a good point. Mrs. Voorhees was in her I'm not going to kill anyone phase. She didn't want to kill. She just, you know.
Do you think that she was like playing little scams and flams on the people in Crystal Lake where it was like, where they were just like, you know what, we're not going to open this because the water's too bad. And they ran out of money. And then eventually Steve was just like, you know what, I'm going to do it no matter what. And she's like, now I have to kill.
I like the idea of Mrs. Voorhees as a scammer. Like she put a card skimmer in that little store at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. She did it, and all those punk kids lost all their money later on in the series when they came up. They never took it out because they never caught her.
It's
Her
still
head
going on. Yeah.
Her head inside the cave is getting money. It's got its own PayPal account.
He's like, you think I don't need money now that because I'm just a head?
Yeah,
Look how withered I'm getting.
She got withered quick. I mean, I don't measure how severed heads, how dry they get. I mean, it's not an exact science unless you have bugs and you're like Donald Pleasance in Phenomena. But
well, I mean, most people know by now that the reason that her head looks that way in Friday the 13th Part 2 is because it was supposed to open its eyes. And
oh, wow.
At the end of the film, there's this long zoom in on it. And you're like, why didn't they just use the same head that was in the fridge at the beginning? And then, it's clearly a person made up to look this way and not a prop head. But she was supposed to turn and open her eyes or something and smile, which was dumb. I'm glad they didn't do that.
I agree. Jenny said that Mrs. Voorhees' real crime is being in the Cutco multi-level marketing. Where would her son got all the knives? You know what I mean? Like I do have a Cutco peanut butter knife that I bought off a Ring of Honor tag team champion who is in AEW now. That's what he did to make money while he was wrestling. He's like, this peanut butter knife is great. And I was like, that's a really good idea. It was $95. And obviously I wasn't married at the time that I bought it. So if I was, all I'd eat now is peanut butter.
Happy Halloween, Pabs, and everybody else who's hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I didn't think very many people would come and watch the show on a Thursday night, but there's a lot of people here.
Yeah, thanks for coming out, everybody. It looks like people are drinking Skittles C4 and drinking. I'm drinking the hard drink of cranberry ocean spray. I'm living it up on a school night. But there is a drink later on. And Bill, tonight's drink tastes 100% like Sour Patch Kids. Like it is something else. Like it knocked my socks off. And I finished it earlier tonight, like around 5:30 or 6. Hence why I'm just drinking this now.
It's going to taste like vanilla vodka and vanilla Coke to me.
Oh, I've heard of that drink before.
It's ghostly.
It's ghostly. So it's Halloween. Let us know in the chat what your Halloween plans were. Hopefully it looks like they're hanging out with us. Have you had a good Halloween so far? And what are maybe some of your favorite things about Halloween? And we'll read them on the air. Bill, I'm trying to stay positive because this is just the end of the season. My wife already started doing the Christmas decorations today. So,
oh no!
Yeah, I said, can we just have Halloween tonight? All the Halloween decorations came down here to the movie cave, but
the movie cave.
I don't know what it needs a name. The DIA
that works.
dungeon. The DIA dungeon, maybe.
I'm not hating on movie cave. I kind of like it.
Yeah. So I do enjoy this as a Christmas. Like, there's so much Friday the 13th merchandise. So
yeah, it's like the McDonald's of horror movies.
Or Halloween 2. Halloween 2 is on everything versus Halloween 1, and they had. Yeah, it's weird. Tomorrow we're going to be going. I'm sure a lot of folks are to Spirit first thing because it's half off. There's a Halloween 5 blanket with a weird faced Michael calling my name, and I'm going to snuggle up under that.
It's calling your name. It's calling you and trying to scam you, like Mrs. Voorhees.
It is, yeah.
Mrs. Voorhees was running one of those prison scams. I bet. Did you ever get those phone calls?
No.
It's like, oh yeah, it was a thing for a while. I haven't saw it on Channel 11. It was, you'd get a phone call and you'd say, so-and-so, someone is calling you from the Allegheny County Jail. And there would be this voice, and it would be like, you know how when you record a voicemail message, it says, say your name? Yeah. Like a robot lady would give you an announcement, and then there'd be a recorded name of the person that was supposedly calling you, and it would be like, like you wouldn't understand it. So you'd start to think, oh, who could I know that's been in jail? And I don't know, they end up getting money out of you somehow. Mrs. Voorhees was probably doing that. She was scamming everybody in there and just raising money to keep Crystal Lake closed. She needed the money for that, yeah. Yeah. Plus, I don't know if she was working, because she wasn't a cook anymore. Where else was there to cook? Was she working at that weird diner? I don't think so. I heard Betsy Palmer wanted to be in that diner. She said to Sean, And
Yeah.
she's like, shouldn't I be in the movie before they see me? Like, maybe I could be in the diner in the background.
He's like, well,
No.
don't bring logic to this, please.
Yeah. That was actually one of the biggest plot points that everyone hated in Friday the 13th. All the critics, that said that it wasn't any good. They're like, you can't guess who the killer is because they bring her in at the last minute, which is sort of interesting, but
Yeah, but
whatever.
She's so great, so it makes up for. And we talk about her every episode, but she is absolutely wonderful. Especially, she's. Oh, did you know a boy died here many years ago?
So Davey Collins from YouTube says that the reason you see all the Halloween 2 stuff is because they can get a better licensing deal.
That's how to do it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It tracks.
Yeah.
The kids say.
Yeah. You know what? I like that I have Halloween 2 versus Halloween 1 merch anyway.
Yeah, I like Halloween 2. I want more Halloween 2 merch.
We watched Halloween 1 last night, and we were chatting during it. And again, I realized that there was only one bag of leaves for that whole movie because it's not shot anywhere in the Midwest. And those Haddonfield, beyond having the meanest teenagers ever, also has the absolute best manicured lawns because it's October 31st. There are no leaves at all. There's like maybe just a scattered leaf here and there. And then like in the school, all those leaves are in the center like of the fence where Tommy gets the pumpkin drop. They're just in one section. Every other section is completely clear. And then I also love that the lemon trees didn't die. The lemon trees and the palm tree way back in the background. Those are
those
fine.
Haddonfield palm trees.
Haddonfield palm trees. And also, of course, I had to send Bill a picture of Lori's hat. I almost wore Becca has a Lori like hat now, and I almost wore it tonight for the show. And I was just going to
cosplaying Lori.
Yeah, I was going to cosplay her hat, just her hat, and just hang myself on a wall.
I also love the mountain range in Illinois. That when Dr. Loomis is making that phone call at the phone booth, there's a mountain range up back in the distance. You're like, where's that in Illinois?
He's so mean in the beginning too. He's just like, yeah. She's like, shouldn't we? No, just shut up. Just inject him. Yeah, she's just like, let's just get this over, in and out, and then he's the worst doctor. I mean, I love him, right? Because we've been conditioned to love him. But if you think about it, he's the worst. Like, especially by the second movie, we talked about it a million times, but he's killing kids. Just
it would have been better off without him there in Halloween too.
Oh, they would have been, but you know what? They weren't. So, such is life. And I will say, I agree with Mike. Part 4's got super awesome Halloween vibes. The beginning of 4 is great. We showed that on the show on one Halloween that Becca came on with us. I was going through all the old episodes today and looking to see what we've shown, what we haven't. And there's some weeks that we went nuts. We're just like, we're going to show too crazy. Now we space it out. We realize we're going to be here for a while. Like back then, we're like, world's ending. Let's get in stuff as quick as we can. It's like, let's show like everything we love in like 6 weeks.
Yeah, it was. We just threw everything at the wall in season 1.
Yeah,
but we've learned since then. And plus, we're getting into weirder areas, like stuff that we don't normally watch, or new stuff that we discovered, new old stuff, I should say.
Yeah, I'm really excited for these next 2 movies. Like, obviously, I have a soft spot for Tracking the Moon Beast, and I'm super excited about Dr. X because Fay Ray and Lionel Atwill made a whole bunch of movies together after.
It was just on TCM today. I don't know if you guys saw that on Groovy Doom, but hopefully you recorded it on your DVR, but don't worry if you didn't. It's on the Internet Archive, and it's the fixed up Technicolor version too. So that's
really so crazy
nice
that they had Technicolor prints for big cities and other cities just got the black and whites.
I know, because it's such a beautiful movie.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I finished up my Chiller Theater watches today with The Weird Woman, which I'd never seen. And man, that movie's awesome.
That was an Inner Sanctum movie.
Yeah, that movie's perfect because it's like 65 minutes. It's got I think a pretty good story. It's the same story. It's taken from the same story of Burn Witch Burn, the Fritz Lieber story.
Yeah. Lon Chaney Jr.
Yeah, Lon Chaney Jr. is kind of like he's like a lady killer in that movie. Like all the ladies at the college love him. And it's like today, if they made that, it'd be kind of like Me Too a bit, where he's like, oh, he's just using his power and station, but he doesn't realize that these ladies love him. Like that young girl comes in to be his secretary, and she dumps her boyfriend right away. She's like, he needs me. And then like that, yeah, I love that when he goes to meet the weird woman of the title. She's like a jungle goddess, a white jungle goddess, of course. And he's like, I remember you when you were like 6 years old. And then he marries her. Like, that probably wouldn't fly today. Though the character's ages, I looked it up. Like in real life, Lon Chaney was 36 and she was 24. But Lon Chaney was a rough 36. He was a hard drinking at lunch 36.
That's not your typical 36.
No, but I think probably Lon Chaney. You did you find Lon Chaney attractive in his younger years, or
not really? I mean, he does seem like he should be my type.
Yeah,
occasionally.
Indestructible man, Lon Chaney, not your type.
He's just so goofy, you know. But usually I like that. Not that Aldo Ray isn't goofy.
Yeah,
I may be over exaggerating my thing for Aldo Ray just a little, but
no, it's okay.
I don't know. Lon Chaney Jr. He wasn't terrible looking. He was just like so dorky looking, and I got the impression that he really probably wasn't a nice guy. I don't know.
They said that I can't remember who it was with him, that they used to, like, after lunch they would start drinking and they would take the golf carts and just start wrecking the golf carts at Universal into stuff, and eventually the security guards would just lock them in a room for the rest of the day. So you'd have to shoot all his stuff in the morning and then they'd pick up the other stuff after. But Weird Woman was shot in like 12 days for $150,000, and it looks great. Like it's I like all the Inner Sanctum. I got the Inner Sanctum box set that Mill Creek put out, and they're cleaned up and they're on Blu-ray, and they're like 2 discs and you get all 6 movies. It's really nice.
Hey, that's a good deal.
Yeah. So I've been watching those and going through those. But yeah, I'm kind of sad that Chiller Theater Month's over, because I watched a ton of Chiller movies that I hadn't seen before, and so it was good. I am a little happier that all the Amityville movies are done. I watched about 20 new Amityville movies I hadn't seen, and
did you watch Marta again just because?
No, I should have watched. I saved Marta for when I'm real down, when it's like a really bad day, and I'm like, and then I also put on my album that you bought me of her music, and I just watch Marta with the sound off and just listen to that 7-inch over and over again.
Let me be your lady. Oh,
she sounds man, her voice is crazy. She
sounds like Amanda
Lear. Yeah,
Amanda Lear. Yeah,
yeah. I just watched "Give a Little to Me" when she was on that witch show, Strix, and "Give a Little to Me." Like, cool.
She had such exotic come-ons, didn't she?
She did. I really think it's funny that, like, today, if a singer was transgender, they would do everything they could to hide it. And Amanda Lear, it's like in every one of her lyrics. Like, am I a he? Am I a she? It's like she did not care. She did not care.
She went for it. Yeah,
she's awesome. She's on that Roxy Music cover too with those dogs. Like, she looks fabulous on that cover.
Was she trans?
Supposedly, yeah. Supposedly, Salvador Dali paid for her operation, and he gave her the name because phonetically in French, her name means Dali's lover. And they were lovers for a long time. She also dated Bowie supposedly for some period.
The tracks, yeah.
Yeah. And then I love that she did the one Joe D'Amato movie, and she was told it was a musical, and it's a Mondo adult movie. And I'm like, did you really get fooled by Joe D'Amato? I don't think so. I think you knew exactly what was happening.
It was probably hard to fool Amanda Lear.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that, if you haven't seen the 1977 Italian TV show Strix, holy cow, it's great. Of course, Amanda Lear being on it, the band Rockets is on it. Those guys were crazy, Bill. They wore the silver faces, and they used to have a fire bazooka that they would shoot into the audience, and would always end up hitting people and setting their clothes on fire. They were supposed to shoot it over their heads, and they just didn't know how to shoot it. And of course,
something extra for the audience that night.
Yeah, and then Grace Jones is on almost every episode of the show, and for as insane as that show is, Grace Jones is the most supernatural thing on it. Like, she is incredible.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's so cool though. I love her, but I can't believe that show's real. And it only lasted 6 episodes because go figure, you can't put naked women in bondage with animals and Amanda Lear singing about being transgender even on Italian TV. But
So, Track of the Moon Beast.
Yeah,
that's a nice segue. And the Track of the Moon Beast is a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a bad movie.
I think it's a good movie. I think it's an odd movie because it's like there's a lot in it that probably doesn't have to be in it, but that's what I love. Like I love that there's a lot of talk about stew, right? That there's like that whole recipe for stew. And then also there's that band playing California Lady. And that was the band that was playing where the crew was staying at their hotel. And they were like, you guys should be in this movie. And they're okay. They come record us tomorrow night. And that's what they did. And they ended up being in the film, which is awesome. I like that it is sort of a werewolf movie. But it's also like it really taps into the Skylab falling fear of the 70s of like meteors seem to be falling a lot. Remember that? Like Skylab was going to fall on somebody at some point.
Yeah. I mean, it's really a very silly movie like Bog, Octoman. It's not
Zat. It's a very
Zat. Yeah. Thank you. And it's not meant to be taken seriously. So that said, there is one sequence in this movie. In case we have some first-time viewers, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's one sequence of this movie that really is kind of creepy and disturbing, and it involves sort of like a trick-or-treating gone wrong, shall we say. Someone's at the front door and something terrible happens to them on the other side. So I like this movie. It's got that, this is why I like Track of the Moon Beast, Sam. That when I was a kid, we were limited in our access to movies like this. You couldn't just get an adult to take you to the movies to see it. Not that this ever played theatrically, but there was something exciting about finding a movie that you were really interested in on free TV, because nobody could stop you then, like unless they took you out of the house and you couldn't watch TV, and you couldn't carry it with you in your pocket back then. So you had to scheme if you wanted to. I remember a couple times I had to scheme to stay home because there was something on TV that I just could not miss. And, Track of the Moon Beast was one of those movies that just popped up and I was like, what the hell is this? This seems kind of weird. So I wanted it to be good and I just really strained hard to try and make this a good movie.
It's like it wants to be a werewolf movie and it wants to be like a Native American mystic movie, but it gets so much of it wrong. It's like, well, what if he was a salamander or lizard or whatever
he is?
And I want to talk about the ending, but I'll wait. I have some problems with the ending, but we'll talk about it. We'll get to it, as we always say. But
this monster. Oh, I wanted to bring up this Pittsburghism to you. I wondered if, like, when you were a kid, the people said, like, "What's her name?" It's not what everyone says. What's her name? But like in Pittsburgh, it was like, "What's their name?"
What's her name? What's her name? Yeah.
That crowd used to hang out with, like, what's her name? Like, Chris and Jennifer. And
also related to what's her ass? What's her ass? You know her.
Chris and them.
Yeah.
Chris and them.
My favorite Pittsburgh is whenever people give you directions based on businesses that have not been here in so many years. And especially now that I live here, they're like, go to where Hills was, take a left. I'm like, I wasn't here when Hills was here. Like, oh, okay. Well, what's there now? I don't know. Something's out there.
It just means you're getting old.
Yeah.
All that shit that has been torn down.
Oh,
we never forget it in Pittsburgh, though.
Never, ever. Yeah. It's like if you give someone directions in Monroeville Mall, like, just go to where the skating rink is. And like, that hasn't been there since like 70. It's like 81, 82.
God. I only skated on that skating rink once.
Oh, see, you're lucky. I never did.
Yeah.
Sometimes I fall down in the food court and pretend I'm skating.
Well, yeah, that's one way to get the feeling back, Sam.
It is, and also to feel like a zombie when you fall down and hit your head.
Zombie.
What's His Nuts is another one. Good one, Matt. That's an LA one. What's His Nuts? What's
His Nuts?
What's His Ass? Maybe What's His Ass is the female form of it. What's His Nuts is the male form of it. Whatchamacallit's another good one too. And then you always say candy bar when someone asks you, whatchamacallit, you say candy bar.
I think that's universal though. Whatchamacallit. Pittsburghers have to find a way to make it even more stupid than it already is.
Like gum bands.
Gum bands.
Red Up. It's
Red Up the house.
I will say Slippy is way better than Slippery. Slippy suggests to me that you're going to fall. Like Slippery sounds like, oh, it might be bad. Slippy says you're going to fall right away. So I prefer a Slippy.
Greasy
Greasy.
is another Pittsburgh, because most people say greasy.
Yeah.
There's a Z in it when we say it.
You know what's funny is another thing about older Pittsburghers, anytime I tell people that we do the show, they're like, oh, like Chili Billy. Like it's like such a universalism amongst people that were young in the 60s and 70s.
I don't want that to go away. I want people to talk about Chili Billy for forever.
Yeah, I know. And it's like, I don't want to associate with people that only know him for being on the late listening radio channel and occasionally showing up and doing the news and maybe bingo. Like I want them to realize like
bingo, God, with Kate English.
Get your cards at Kogo's and call this number to win bingo. My grandfather used to win all the time, and he used to have to give his have other people get the money for him because he had won so many times.
Wow, I would have just liked to have won once something.
I won once, and I was only like 13, so someone had to accept my prize.
What did you win?
Like $50.
$50?
Yeah.
In 1982 or whenever that was.
That was one of the coverall ones. Yeah, some of the other ones are like $7, like $5. But you know what? It was free. You got the cards when you went to Kogo's.
It wasn't gambling.
No.
You didn't pay any money
to
do it.
No, because you didn't hear it. You could write them each week and they would mail you cards too. At one point, Channel 4 and Channel 11 both had bingo. That's when they were going to war with each other with bingo. Because Channel 4 needed something to replace Bowling for Dollars after Nick Perry got busted. These are way deep Pittsburghisms.
Yeah, this is going too deep.
Yeah, Nick Perry's work gets too deep. But look it up if you're not from Pittsburgh. But yeah,
he's that goofball that rigged the lottery, wasn't he?
Yeah. My favorite thing about it is his real last name is something like very Greek, and he was part of like a Greek mafia. So like they bought all their tickets at really small convenience stores in the middle of the state, and they would call each other on the phone and speak Greek, so no one knew what they were saying. Except every one of these convenience stores was like, "Hey, this really big guy came in, bought $2,000 worth of lottery tickets with the number 666." And then called somebody and spoke in Greek for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is really strange. You should probably look into this. So they maybe didn't go around about it the best. It was a good plan.
They underestimated everybody's awareness of what they were up to, which so many criminals do.
And then they painted all of the balls twice, except for the 666 balls so that they were heavier. And the lighter balls rose. Now that's why senior citizens watch the hawk like senior citizens watch the lottery draw.
How would you know though? Weren't they watching when it happened?
I think now there's so many things that happen and so many steps that they have to go to that it's almost impossible to do it. Yeah, that's right, because they injected them with latex paint too. It was a major scam, but
that seems more reliable of a scam because painting them twice would that seems like different balls could still rise to the top and you wouldn't.
They also did it over Easter, and the reason why they picked 666 was that most, Pittsburgh's at the time, maybe not as much now, but at the time was very Catholic. So no one was going to play 666 except for them. And which is amazing because like there was only one lottery then, just 3 numbers. That's all we had. We didn't have pick 6 and Powerball. And now you watch it and there's like 8 of them. This is Pittsburgh TV history. But yeah, Chili Billy never got involved in those scandals. He was too good for this. He didn't get in those scandals.
No, Chili Billy never would have run a scam. He was no Mrs. Voorhees. Voorhees would have been injecting the lottery balls too.
Oh, little game with the lottery.
Oh, what monster could have done that?
During Halloween, I became Connell Cochran as I was handing out candy to the kids, and it just kept coming in and saying to Becca, "A trick on the children." Just over and over again. She's like, "What is wrong with you?"
His trick wasn't very nice.
Yeah,
I didn't watch Halloween 3 this year.
I didn't either. Are you burned out on it?
No, I hardly watched anything. I've just been, all my computer time is spent doing other things.
Yeah.
And then Mark's always watching something on TV. So
Jenny said that Mrs. Voorhees put poison in the Tylenol and razor blades in the candy.
She did it.
That's a great theory. Did Mrs. Voorhees cause the kid in Halloween 2 to bite into the apple with a razor blade in it?
They should have showed her.
And then what? Yeah, what if they did a cutaway and she's like,
you could do a fan edit and put her in there somewhere.
Yeah, my pitch for the next Halloween is the kids that are making all the noise when Lori says, "Didn't you give up on superstition, kiddo?" I want to follow those kids, and that's my story. That's my side story of the Halloween mythos. Like, what happened?
I don't understand that line at all. No matter how many times I see Halloween, she watches the kids trick or treating, and she goes, "Well, kiddo, thought you outgrew superstition." Like, what is she saying?
She's 40 years old. Seriously, she is the oldest teenager. All of her friends are out banging dudes, getting drunk, getting high, and pulled over for their dad while weed's in the car. They all are bad influences. And she's like, "I'm going to read this book about fate that doesn't exist. And I'm going to say things that call myself kiddo and speak to myself and just stay in my room with my giant sunflower hat."
Does the book not exist? Are they talking about it?
It does not exist. I tried looking it up the other night, and most people think it does not exist. So,
Costain wrote that fate was somehow related to earth, air, fire, and water.
Becca's upstairs yelling out the real line, I'm sure, right now. But yeah, I love that scene, though. And so many movies have ripped off that scene. And I love that she's the teacher tries to catch her not paying attention.
I know. She was staring out the window, so you could forgive the teacher for thinking that.
And Laura's like, "No, I read that book. Let me tell you about it. The rest of my friends don't pay attention."
She was just waiting to talk about that about that book. Now should be in a box on our show. Our special guest, Laurie Strode, wants to talk about literature.
She wants to talk about fate. Hey, Laurie. And she would have on that hat, and we'd be like, "Oh, Laurie, next time you're on the show."
Just see it in the background on her wall.
Yeah, please move the camera so we don't see the hat. But we would be nice to her. We wouldn't be mean to her. Well, I do need to put the hat on the wall back here. I think we need to put one up here.
Unless she's Laurie 2018, which I don't want her on the show. If she's gonna be mean and she's gonna
be mean and get our names wrong and say, "Oh, Bill," and whatever that other guy's name is. And we'll just be
sorry, I forgot your name.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
I've just been on your show for 3 hours.
Yeah. Becca brings up my favorite line, obviously, from Halloween when he's outside and he's like, "Hey, Lonnie, get your ass away from there." And the best part about that is if you stop it right there and concentrate on him, he is so pleased with himself that he's fucked with this little kid. He's like, yeah. And it's nothing else matters that night. He can't find it. There is a killer loose that has literally picked up a gravestone and walked away with it, and ate a dog. And he's like, maybe I should fuck with these kids. Priority is they're out of whack.
Didn't the realtors kill the dog? A rival realtor wanted to scare the.
I like Mike Justice's theory that Michael helped show off the house to the realtors. He unlocked the box. Today they would just have the box and just walk them through and show them around.
That's what I was thinking of. When we were looking for houses, our realtor took us to this house that had a lockbox on it, and people lived there, and there were people at home. And she unlocked the door and went and took us in there. And there was this lady that lived there with other people. And we were walking around looking at the rooms, and there was a bedroom and somebody was in bed. I just saw their feet and I kind of backed up. I was like, okay, this is too weird. And we went back downstairs out on the porch, and the lady that lived there came home, and she was like, "Oh, hi." We're like, "Oh, we were just in your house." It was creepy. Realtors are strange.
They are, because they're just like, they have no compunction about just walking into people's lives and just, well, I gotta sell.
They agreed
Want me
to
to
it.
sell it? Yeah, I know. Every time. Well, we sold our old house in like a day, and we were just out of the house when they did that. We just went out, and like it's just easier. It's kind of like maybe that's the situation in Dawn of the Dead when the SWAT raid's happening. They're just looking at that tenement to buy it.
Yeah,
and they find all those bodies in the basement.
I'm like, whoa. Are these zombies paying rent? This apartment has way too many people in it.
And that one racist cop ruins it. Everything was calm, and that one racist cop starts just dropping racism, and then the guy's like, "I'm going to bite my wife," and then everything's wrong. From that point on, just everything is chaos.
Yeah,
but there's
always some big mouth that ruins it.
Oh yeah, just they're like, "Did you have to say that to that zombie?"
Please, then, if you can't say anything other than that, just be quiet.
Just be quiet. You're giving us a bad image. I wish more people were talking about our movie tonight. Well, not just us, but I'm sure other people in general. Like, I wish Bill the same would talk about it. But I think that I think it's better than it gets. Again, it's a Mystery Science Theater movie, so a lot of people are going to be down on it because they're like, "Oh yeah, I like it when it gets riffed on." But I think that there's something to this. It's just such a weird concept, and like I celebrate that.
It's just fun. That's all. I mean, it's not a great movie. It's just, it was written in 2 days. What do you want?
Yeah,
2 days.
Yeah, 2 days. And Bill Finger was one of the writers who is the co-creator of Batman. And for years, Bob Kane took all the credit, not Bill Finger. Bill Finger also created the original Green Lantern, and he also created the Penguin, and probably a lot of the Joker too. Again, it's kind of hard to tell, who created what, but most people think that Bill Finger did a lot more than he was given credit for. And here he is writing this movie, which is nuts.
Smell my Bill Finger.
Hey, I wanted to tell you, speaking of weird movies, Cross of the Devil is on Tubi now, which is wild because that was such a hard movie to find. It's like the fake Blind Dead movie that Paul Naschy originally wrote, and then it kind of got stolen from him. That and Cake of Blood are both on there, and I believe those are the 4Ks that Severin has coming out later in the year. But they're up, as streaming. They don't have Severin's logo on them yet. But those just went up over the last few days, so that's kind of exciting. I've been looking for both of those, and like, wow, it always blows my mind. You're like, I wonder if this movie that I haven't been able to find in 10 years is on Tubi. Yep, there it is. And
yeah, and all the shit that you couldn't find for years and years and years is slowly becoming available. So
yeah,
that's great. I don't want to die too soon. No. I don't mind dying, but not before all the cool shit comes out all fixed up and I get to watch it. Like, I want to see the Blu-ray for Terror at Red Wolf Inn. I want to see a Blu-ray for Bob Emery's movies, especially Scream Bloody Murder.
Yeah.
There's a couple of Crazed, aka Slipping into Darkness.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that I love that needs to be reimagined. It worked for The Black Room.
Yeah.
It happened. So it could happen.
Man, I love The Black Room so much. I was thinking about it the other day. It's so good. And the fact that The Black Room is now there's a pristine copy sitting on our shelves now.
Yeah.
Like how crazy.
Anytime you watch it, there it is.
Yeah. And it's just sitting there. It's everything will, I don't know. It'd be great if everything does come out eventually.
I love that Black Room so much.
Oh, it's so good. I was looking, and what do you remember what we played it with?
Was it Eerie Midnight Horror Show?
Yeah. That's insane, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's when you can tell we were like, we're just going to show everything. Kind of like how we did Don't Hang Up and Scream Bloody Murder. Or don't open the door and Scream Bloody Murder the same night. We're like, we're probably gonna do this for 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah,
yeah. Like the children and Kathy's Curse the same night. What were we thinking?
I'm not against doing like a rerun, but there's so many other movies to do. Like I don't want to show something we already showed when there's.
That's one thing. And if we do a rerun, we should just do a commentary track on it. Then we'll get our kicks out of it, and then we'll just keep bringing new stuff to folks.
Hey, let's take a commercial break and do the drink segment. How about that?
Sounds great.
All right. All right.
All right.
All right.
The Shopping Mall is waiting for you October 21st through October 31st. The 6th annual Huntsville JC's Haunted House at Market Square.
They're waiting for you at the Haunted Mansion in Long Branch, New Jersey. Monsters, ghouls, vampires, frightening creatures of the night waiting for you at the Haunted Mansion. They could be around the next corner, down the next dark corridor. Maybe they're behind you. Hurry! They're just dying to meet you at the Haunted Mansion in Long Branch, New Jersey.
The preview you are about to watch is for a movie that is unlike any you have ever seen before. It is for a movie that goes beyond temporary fear to everlasting terror.
Debbie! Debbie! You're insane!
The Monongahela Mongoloid.
Certain scenes may be quite shocking to some people.
No one under 17 would be admitted.
Hello.
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween! We're going to talk about the Moon Lizard, Track of the Moon Beast. Perhaps the best Halloween movie ever made, not called Halloween.
I beg to differ.
Yeah, exactly. Here it is. What do we got for the Moon Lizard? We got an ounce of vodka, an ounce of watermelon pucker. If you got Midori, you can use that too. You got an ounce of lemon juice, an ounce of lime juice, half an ounce of simple syrup. If you have sweet and sour mix, you can use that too instead of these. But I don't have it. That's what we're doing. Right? Boosh, alcohol.
It's good when the person who writes the recipe doesn't have the ingredients.
My wife told me nothing new. Just keep buying the same
use
stuff.
what we have.
And that's what we're going to do. And that's what I did. Get out a glass before the video. Happy Halloween.
It's a holiday.
It is a holiday.
We're on holiday time.
Yeah. There we go. Shaking it up good. That's some good shaking. Oh, come on.
Break the seal.
I'll watch this video later when we're doing it and I'll be like, I can't believe this guy. What's he doing? What's he doing? Why can't he break that seal? Why can't he break that seal?
He's gonna hurt himself.
He's gonna hurt himself. He's gonna cut himself. Look at that.
Oh, a white drink.
Hello, Moon Beast. This is the color of the Moon Beast.
It's gonna be sour.
Anything's gonna be sour?
Yeah.
Things gonna mess up my stomach?
Yep.
Was I just complaining about stomach ache?
Yes.
It's Halloween. It's like a pixie stick that some old guy gave you, and it's all dirty. So it's been in his junk drawer for years.
Trick or treat in your belly.
Trick or treat, belly. Don't trick. Like a Jolly Rancher.
Sour.
I like it. Yeah, but good. I like a Sour Patch Kid. It's got Sour Patch Kid taste. It goes perfect with this movie. You drink like 20 of these, this movie will make perfect sense.
Happy Halloween.
Busy.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Trick on the children.
Let's talk about the hole in your stomach after drinking that.
Yeah. My stomach was already hurting tonight, so yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. But
well, you're not drinking it now.
No, I'm drinking water and what do you call it? Cranberry juice now. So yeah, everything's.
It looks like Tracy mentioned the cyanide-laced pixie sticks. That was really the only case of Halloween poisoning, candy poisoning. I think that happened in like 82 or 83.
Yeah, we had to throw away all our pixie sticks that year. And enraged.
And it turned out it was someone that killed their own kid.
Yeah.
It was the kid's dad that killed him.
I like that every once in a while they're like, hey, if you're a kid, don't take any of these candies because drug dealers are trying to give you their edibles. No, they're not. They're not trying to give you their edibles. This has never happened.
That theory is worn out.
It is super worn out.
Not giving away their shit, especially
No.
to kids that are just going to throw it away.
No. And they're going to take all your candy too because they're super hungry. So be careful. What's your favorite Halloween candy?
Well, I mean, just candy bars, like this
Yeah.
you can buy any time of the year. You mean like something that's only available at Halloween? Like
I'm saying if you were going to somebody's house, what would you hope that they had for you?
I'll just, Twix, Milky Way, chocolate. No, nothing with nuts. I'll eat a Snickers if I have to, but I prefer it to be no peanuts.
No Mr. Goodbar.
No, I'm not crazy about that. Butterfinger.
What about Crackle?
Crackle I like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the fake Nestle Crunch. Nestle Crunch is what I would rather have, but Crackle is totally acceptable.
Like how Score is the fake Heath bar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why would need a Heath bar?
You wouldn't?
No, there's something in it I don't like. I forget what's in a Heath.
Oh, I love a Heath bar. A Heath bar. I would only pick candy bars that are possible to find. Like, do you have any Zag nuts? Or do you have smoothies? These
Mounds,
are
Almond
Mounds.
Joy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny that we've started catching up to Japan and start having different flavors of Kit Kat now. Not anywhere near what they have, but
I love Bit of Honey.
Bit of Honey's the best.
Tracy mentioned that.
Oh, I like Black Cows too. I like weirder. The
Black
weirder
Cow?
the yeah, Black Cow.
Something about it. I should like Black Cow, but I don't. There's something about the texture that's unappealing to me. That's the kind that's in a rope, isn't it?
Yeah. Hey, did you see Patrick Walsh snuck into the chat? Did you see that?
Hi, Patrick Walsh.
Hi,
Fuck them taffy bats, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what a taffy bat is. I don't think I do like Laffy Taffy.
Ooh, I like what are the ones that are the stick lick'em sticks or where you dip the stick into the stuff? That's amazing. What a candy.
That was some good penny candy shit. Like my grandma used to take me to this place that was still a penny candy store. And there was you could just like point to all the stuff you wanted that, and it was like what 50 cents or something. You get a whole bag of good stuff.
It's not a penny, but there's Baldingers in Zillionople, and they have they still have the bins of candy, but it's very expensive. It's expensive. You can also get the super caustic black licorice there that burns your mouth, the blacks and the little triangles, and that's pretty sweet.
Five Below is the place to go for loose candy now.
Yeah. There's I have to. We ran out of candy. We had so many kids, so I went into my Jolly Rancher stash, and kids got all my Jolly Ranchers. And then at some point, I was like, "Oh my God, they're going to take all my Werthers." And like, do I want to be the asshole giving out Werthers to kids? Because kids are like, "I don't want Werthers." You have to be like at least 52 to like Werthers, like I am. And I was like, man. But yeah, everything went. We even went into the fruit snacks. Everything went. It started getting rough.
Did you see the commercial for the Haunted Mansion at Long Branch?
Mm-mm.
That was in the commercial break.
Oh, I was using the facility.
So was I. But the Haunted Mansion at Long Branch, that was one of the greatest frustrations of my life because we got WOR in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They ran that commercial all the time, and I was like, I want to go there so bad. I was like, that's worth a trip to New Jersey. Please, somebody take me to New Jersey.
Were you like that about Action Park too? Because I wanted.
I didn't know about it.
Oh, we got Action Park commercials during wrestling on WR, and I wanted to go there. Now, watching the documentaries, I'm like, I would have been a large fat kid as I was. A frog, as my wife said, a young frog. That's what I was getting into one of those cars. Like I was made to die at Action Park.
Oh, Patrick's been there to the Haunted Mansion at Long Branch.
Oh man. Oh,
yeah,
man.
it looks really fun, and I read up on it. It burned down probably because the people that owned it were sick of it. I don't know. I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but
there's
fire.
There's a year-round haunted house out here.
Where?
In Monongahela, and whenever they give, like, my wife gets her surgical stuff at this place called Spartan Surgical Center, and they're always like, go next to the demon house and take a left. because like the sign for Demon House looks like Reagan from The Exorcist. They have like a woodcut of Reagan's face outside it, and it's open you can like do tours all year long. But I love that like the medical facility is like, find the Demon House and just take a left. Like that's a landmark of Monongahela.
Hey, that's great. That's the kind of place where it's cool to live there.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they have that Monongahela Mongoloid there, though.
Yeah.
Did you see that commercial too?
I saw that commercial, and I can't wait for the full movie. I've been waiting for years to see the full movie. It only played once.
It did?
Yeah, it played a film festival, and Joe Bob kind of liked it. That's what I was told.
I thought you could watch it at any time on YouTube.
Oh, it's up now? Because I'm going to ditch the show and go watch it. Just kidding. I do want to see it, especially living. There's a Monongahela Michael Myers too, right?
I could be thinking of something else. Maybe the Monongahela Mongoloid is not up. If it's not, it should be.
We haven't seen Monongahela Michael Myers yet. He's here. We've heard about him. We know that he's stalking our town. We have never seen him. Becca is so upset that she has not yet run into the mic. Every time, like the Facebook group in town's like, "Why is he standing outside Food Lane?" Becca runs out to Food Lane, and he's already gone.
Aww.
She's gonna yell, "I shot him 6 times."
I think you missed him.
Yeah, the evil is gone. The evil is gone.
Poor Marion Chambers. She really had a shitty deal. She took care of. She escaped Michael Myers on October 31st, 1978, twice.
Yes.
She escaped him, and then years later, after she's getting older and she took care of this cranky old man, and she gets stabbed in the stupidest way, I might add, in Halloween H20. Her death is so frustrating because all she had to do was just turn around and go the other way.
I hate when they bring back a legacy character just to kill them. It's cheap, right?
Well, I guess they want the impact. They got to take whatever impact they can get when you're talking about the 7th movie in a franchise.
I mean, who are they going to kill? Now they're just bringing back people that show up for 2 seconds. You know what
Lonnie
I mean?
Lamb.
Yeah, they had a whole story about Lonnie. They brought Lonnie back, and he was a loser, and his son was a loser, and they got killed. I came upstairs the other night from work, and Becca was watching the 2018 Halloween, and I was like, "Oh, did they find peanut butter in that guy's dick yet?" That's the worst line. There's so many bad lines in that movie, but that's it.
That movie's like everything. It's like the Rob Zombie version, except with anything interesting removed from it. It's just
At least the Rob Zombie. I have started. God, maybe those movies are so bad that I started to come around back. Well, at least Rob Zombie did his own thing. At least he had some ideas. And in a couple of years, once a couple more sequels come out, I'm probably gonna love the Rob Zombie movies. So.
Especially his Halloween too. I really dig his Halloween too.
I'm starting to like his Halloween too, except he didn't need to explain to people what the white horse was. Like in the beginning, like he tells you what it means. Like, no, just have the.
Oh yeah, it should have just been there.
Yeah, it's like you don't need to explain this. It's not symbolism if you have a super at the beginning.
That was studio pressure.
Oh yeah, they're like, nobody's gonna know what this white horse is. They're gonna think it's about the Deftones or cocaine, and he was like, yeah, okay. At that point, he'd been beaten down. Oh.
So since we don't have any Track of the Moon Beast ads to look at before we get to the movie, let's look at just some random ads that I pulled from Tucson recently on the page. I know some of this hasn't even run on the page yet, but this is from 1980, and it was still playing. Like Don't Look in the Basement and Last House on the Left, of course. House by the Lake was only 4 years old at that point, but the other ones...
It's amazing, though, that they didn't use the line on this. Keep reminding yourself, like, this feels like the ad to have it in there. Do you know what I mean?
They probably just didn't have the room. I'm
sure
there's a bigger ad, Matt, that has it.
Night at the Houses. Triple House Night. Neighborhood of Terror.
Realtor's Nightmare.
Oh.
Just don't look in the basement. The rest of the house is nice, but don't look in the basement.
Please don't look in the basement.
Where is it? Oh, it's the last house on the left. Just across the street from Joe.
Oh, this is a Bill night at the drive-in.
Brenda Vaccaro, baby.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot she's in House by the Lake. Yeah.
House by the Lake. Yeah.
Man,
she's like her taking no more shit, Brenda Vaccaro.
Yeah, she's a little classy to be in that movie, but I'm okay with it.
Well, it was a gig. What can you say? You can't blame a girl for working.
Oh, I love this logo.
Yeah.
Is it better than the chicken foot logo? I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, see, this kind of like has a gothic look to it.
Yeah.
With that typeset.
That Kyra Sean looking child above this. Yeah.
Should be chopping with a trowel for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a teaser. This isn't even this was the week before the children appeared.
Man. I love it.
Teaser ad. What is this? The children. Why should I pray I never meet them? Well, you'll find out a week later. Tucson.
Oh, I love it.
How about this? Vince is going to love this.
Yeah. Wow.
Vince, I made sure to put this up there for you. Goliathon, a.k.a. Mighty Peking Man.
Yeah. Some Shaw Brothers action playing in American theaters. How wild is that?
Sorry, I kicked over my cocktail shaker.
Ooh. This is a beautiful ad for Goliath.
I know, for Mighty Peking Man.
Yeah.
God. Did they change? I know that you probably don't know the answer to this, but I wonder if they changed anything for this American release. Like, was there...
Vince might know. I'm going to say probably no, but none of these things happen in Mighty Peking Man. This image is a much sexier, more exciting time. But not that it's a bad movie. I do love it. But
well, I want to think that this is, I mean, that's obviously the image from Tarzan the Ape Man of Bo Derek swinging by on a vine, but I think this was before Tarzan the Ape
Man.
Yeah,
it is, yeah.
Wasn't that like 81 or 82?
Yeah, 80. Yeah, 81.
You shall have your bath, Bo Derek.
You shall let the monkey touch your nipple.
What won't she do on camera, that Bo Derek?
Ask Cannon, because that's Bolero cost Cannon their deal with MGM.
Poor Linda Day George. She went through so much in her movies. Yeah, this is from the director of Haunts.
Herb Fried, yeah.
And also with music by Pino Donaggio, who also did the soundtrack on Haunts.
Yeah. I like Beyond Evil. I think it's a fun movie.
Herb Fried was gunning for Brian De Palma's job.
He was. We already have Brian De Palma at home, and it's called Herb Fried.
He's like, I'm gonna work with Pino Donaggio too.
Pino was doing a lot of work. He was not turning work down.
This couldn't have been cheap. Like Haunts, they got him for cheap because I think that was his first soundtrack. Yeah. But this had to have cost a little. This was probably the whole budget for the movie. Yeah. Was getting Pino Donaggio.
Him and John Saxon and Linda Day George. Everything else was cheap. Michael Dante got shit. Mario Milano got shit. Everybody else got nothing. And then
it's probably one of those deals where they promised them a %.
Yeah.
They're like, this movie's going to be big. And instead of paying you, we'll just give you a percentage.
Yeah.
Oh, it bombed. Sorry.
It cost a lot for the camera. Oh, wow.
This opened the same week as something else. I can't remember what the I think there's an ad for it coming up here. Anyway, it opened the same week as Death Ship. So Death Ship just crushed all the box office.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I would have picked to see.
Death Ship?
Yeah.
I did.
It's got George Kennedy in it, and I'd be like, yeah, he's the American Donald Pleasance. I will go see this.
I didn't care about George Kennedy when I first saw this movie. I thought this movie sucked the first time I saw it.
Oh, I really hate it. I love Richard Crenna too. So this is a Sam tough guy cast.
I honestly believe that just a little bit of Crenna is enough to change you forever. I saw it when I was 11 years old on HBO, so I didn't like it, but now I love it. Now I totally have come around with Death Ship.
Yeah.
Now that once you don't expect it to be anything, because it's not going to be anything, trust me. So you're going to like it a lot better. We need to do this on the show sometime.
We do. What's the other movie that has the big opening on the ship, the haunted ship movie from the 2000s?
Ghost Ship?
Yeah, Ghost Ship. Like, I like Death Ship better than Ghost Ship, except the first 10 minutes of Ghost Ship are awesome. And it's like super
where everyone gets cut in half with a
and then everything, and then they're like, okay, we're done here, and then it just slows to a halt.
Yeah,
in Ghost Ship. So,
where do you go from there? I mean, that's obviously going to be the moment of your movie. They should have put that last.
Yeah, Death Ship's got like doors to nowhere and Nazis showing up out of nowhere, and it's good.
A furniture movie at sea.
Yeah.
That's an interesting statement. Ghost Ship has, it's got that weird like Nazi steampunk look to it.
Yeah. Can you imagine if the ship did look like this, if it had that like weird face?
I wish.
Oh.
I would have loved it at age 11 if it looked like this.
Yeah.
This one has a different ad every time you see it. There's an ad where I can't remember if there's an ad with no face. There might be an ad where the ship had no face. There's definitely an ad where the people in the life raft are not there.
Oh, wow.
And then there's one where there's a skeletal hand coming out of the death ship, reaching for them, and a rotted corpse ad, which is obviously my favorite.
Yeah. Oh.
I'll just leave this here and listen to you make sounds.
How about that? God damn it. Oh.
Tucson was the only place other than Pittsburgh where effects played theatrically, which is tragic. It's absolutely tragic. This is one of the most unfairly overlooked movies ever made.
Ever. Wow. That's awesome. It's awesome.
Really, it's got a lot going for it, effects, but it's a think piece. It's not a showy movie. There's not, there's a little bit of action at the end. It's not totally a movie where nothing happens, but it's more about understanding the relationships in the movie and how, like, when you work on something like a film or creative project, like, where there's a whole bunch of people working on it, and some of those people you don't know, and what are they capable of? Like, you don't know a lot of the people on effects are like that. Like, there's a Grip who's one of the main characters in the film, and she's a little new on this set, and she's like, she doesn't know obviously what this crew is capable of, and it turns out they're making a snuff movie.
And her name was Roberta Findlay. That's the other snuff. Sorry.
Doris Wishman. Anyway, Tom Savini is amazing in effects. He's basically playing himself, I think. I suspect. And it's one of the most effective time capsules of Pittsburgh that I've ever seen on camera. This is the real Pittsburgh that's in effects because, they don't have any landmarks. They don't show off that it's Pittsburgh. This is like going into the dive bar of Pittsburgh and with like a bunch of people hanging out, like drinking, doing coke, like partying, on a Saturday night. That's Pittsburgh. At least Pittsburgh of 1980.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still that way.
I love effects. It's so good.
Me too.
I love this ad. Oh my god. Where to start, right?
Yeah. I mean, really just close your eyes, bring your finger down, and that's the one you're going to see. Hopefully you'll land on Massage Parlor Hookers, which is really Massage Parlor Murders.
Yeah.
House of Hookers is a movie from 1970. One of those retitled things that kept popping up. And Bod Squad is Bod Squad.
Silent Scream and Phantasm is pretty rad. Up and Smoking Animal House is like really bringing it. I mean, that's like two heavy hitters there.
Yeah, there's two good movies that are like that, like counterculture comedies.
Yeah. American Gigolo and Looking for Mr. Goodbar is like the moms from the suburbs going to come out together and see that.
That's the arty double feature.
Yeah, and then we got Jaws 2 and Dracula. Wow.
They're serious films. American Gigolo.
Yeah. Oh, we pulled into the wrong theater and we saw House of Hookers and Bod Squad. Children under 12 are free if you want to take them to see Bod Squad. They'll love it.
And then, of course, Universal Night. It's Jaws 2 and Dracula.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned that already. So
yeah, that's a nice night in Tucson, though.
I don't know. 54-year-old me wants to go see Massage Parlor Murders on the big screen to see the theatrical debut of George Zunza. He's super dreamy.
Oh, is it?
Yes. I like him more than Aldo Ray, truth be told.
Wow. This is hot news tonight.
He's not as prolific.
Only could be told on Halloween. this news.
He didn't turn into an alcoholic and just take any old job that came his way. In fact, he turned down, he said no to Law and Order. He was on the original season 1 of Law and Order, and there was something that changed about how they were going to make the series, and he was like, okay, no, I'm not coming back for the second season. And they unceremoniously killed his character off screen, which is a bummer. But anyway, there you go. That's the one that I would pick.
See, now I'm taking mental notes of this. But where, right? Okay.
Good thing there's a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday at the Apache.
Yeah, I'm thinking the definite pick is The Legacy and Call to the Damned. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a great night. Little Girl Lives Down the Lane and Godsend's pretty rad too, but I'd like to see Roller Boogie. I'm not as big on Buddy Holly Story, but Roller Boogie I'm good with.
Roller Boogie would be a party. You know, Guyana Call to the Damned, Jennifer Ashley's in that.
Yeah.
She said she got that in a hurry. Like, they called her one night and were like, can you leave now and go do Guyana Call to the Damned?
Yeah, I would say yes.
Mm-hmm. She did, thank God. There she is. Guyana Call to the Damned. Jim Jones's lover.
Oh, man. How great. Stuart Whitman, my favorite boxing priest. And, know, I watched Blood of the Mummy's Tomb this week, Bill, and there is also a disembodied hand in that movie and British women yelling about the hand. The hand is coming for us in that movie, too.
Oh, that damn hand.
That damn hand. It's back. It's no Demonoid.
Dreadful.
Just a reminder, Bill and I are going to be on the Tarantino podcast soon talking about Demonoid. And oh my God, I'm so excited for Phil to watch it. He hasn't seen it yet, and it's going to ruin his mind. He's going to be like, what?
I feel like Phil is definitely ruinable because he's really curious about these kinds of movies. So we could totally trash his taste in films. It's a pet project.
Yeah. He does like bat pussy, so I mean, there is hope.
Oh yeah. Well, there you go. It's just gonna take a little push.
That was my favorite. You texted me a line from Bat Pussy a couple weeks ago, and I couldn't stop laughing.
So did I.
You did. Yeah, that's what I mean. You sent me one, and it was like,
oh, I thought you said Phil did.
Yeah, you did. And I was like, oh man, that was the best line. I love that couple. They're just so cantankerous, and I think they love each other, but I think they're going to kill each other, and it's just like their pillow talk is astounding, and just like I can't even figure it out. Like, it's not even anything that turns you on. It's just so
it's so clinical to think like, how are they going to have sex after saying some of those things that they say to each other in Bat Pussy?
Yeah, it's like most of the movie is them fighting with each other, and Bat Pussy just shows up for 5 minutes after she bounces on that little ball. It's a movie I think everybody should see and have it change them.
Really gross sex scenes in Bat Pussy.
Yeah.
It's a Something Weird video classic.
Yeah. I think once you watch it, you're not like, when people are like, oh, this is the worst movie ever, you're like, no, you're stupid. It's not the worst movie ever. I've seen Bat Pussy. Bat Pussy's not the worst movie ever either.
Absolutely not. Come on.
I've watched Myra Breckenridge 3 times in a row. I mean, I can do anything.
Do you want to say anything about The Godsend before we move on?
I haven't seen The Godsend. I need to see it.
Oh. Yeah. How have you not seen The Godsend? It's like, Kathy's Curse 2.
I have it, and I still haven't seen it. So I'm going to rectify this situation.
Oh, please do immediately.
R.I.P.
Walker.
R.I.P. Jack Jones.
Oh no! Did he just die?
He just died this week.
Oh no!
Yeah, I loved this movie. We haven't shown this, have we?
I don't think so.
No. God, I love this movie.
I used a close up of Holly Palance's rotted face in one of our openings, right when we started doing this show.
I love this movie because it's a Pete Walker movie, right? So it's already weird, but it's like aggressively weird, and that's what I love. And I love the typeface. Looks like the band Voivod. Like they went crazy with the typeface for this. It's awesome.
It's a little metal,
yeah,
somewhat.
Yeah. And Jack Jones has, I think I brought it up last week, he has a Brillo pad for chest hair. He has a lot of just aggressive chest hair in this movie. Not and more than that, it's a tuft. He looks like Oliver Reed as werewolf, like chest hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen Jack Jones's chest in The Comeback.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back to the beginning here. So
back to where we started.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I forgot to make a Kantan video. I'm gonna have to use the generic one.
Happy Halloween, everybody! Thanks so much. We got a pretty good crowd, huh?
Yeah, we peaked at around 30 viewers,
That's
which is
awesome.
pretty good for a Thursday night.
Thursday night. It's a school night, right?
Yeah, we're on pretty early though. We're gonna go watch the movie now, and it's not even 10:30 yet. So
it's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, guys, thanks for joining us, and please come back. We'll have a lot to unpack. And we forgot the question we ask every week: is this your first time watching this movie? Let us know. I hope it's somebody's first time because I want somebody to be confronted by this movie.
Yeah, I mean, this is a movie that definitely happens to you.
Yeah. That's what I love whenever I talk about this on my site a lot, but it's like the idea that like you have no idea what you're getting into when a movie starts. And, especially a drive-in movie. And then you're like, oh man, this movie, you know what? Blood from the Mummy's Tomb played double features with Bill.
I do, but remind me what it was.
Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde.
Yes. Yes.
How great would that be as a double feature? Like, I would be losing
confrontational,
my mind.
uncompromising.
Yeah.
A biting look at the realities of everyday life.
Yeah.
It's truth.
Blood from the Mummy's Tomb was a fraught with troubled production. Peter Cushing shot for one day. He found out his wife was sick the first day he shot, so he left. And then the director actually died while he was shooting the movie and fell into one of the actress's arms and died in front of the entire crew. And it was finished by the president of Hammer. So he had no idea what he was going to do. And Bill, as you said to me last week, it's a billion times better than The Awakening. It is so much better.
The Awakening's boring.
It's boring. This movie is not boring.
Fuck Charlton Heston.
Oh, Charlton Heston. Come on, Bright Eyes.
Anyway, go watch Track of the Movies. The link is on Groovy Doom. It's on YouTube. There's a bunch of copies out there. I poked around and I tried to find the best one. So you can use that link that I posted on Groovy Doom. I think it's probably on Tubi as well, but it's not a really nice looking version. So I just linked to YouTube instead.
And if you go to bed early, don't forget to join us late this Saturday for Dr. X. And don't be like, oh, well, that's an old movie. It probably isn't that crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah, it's going to shock you.
Cannibalism, prostitution, drug abuse, and comedy.
Yeah.
There's a slapstick, cutesy comedy.
Fay Wray
screaming. Lionel Atwill looking very dire.
Yeah.
And a whole cast of just creepy looking dudes. Any of them could be the strange murderer in the film, the Moonlight Killer.
I love that he has a name. It's kind of sort of jolly, isn't it?
Yeah. It is very giallo because the police behave the way police would never behave in real life in this movie. They allow civilians to take over the investigation of this murder case, and at least one death happens after the police turn it over to the civilian. I think there's like another death that happens after that too. So
my God. Super exciting.
It could happen in real life. And that's going to be Saturday night at 11 for the Drive-In Asylum late movie. Right now, the Drive-In Asylum Halloween special. Get set to watch Track of the Moonbees. Another movie that could really happen.
It happened to me.